how the first order neuron, second order neuron, third order neuron, affects our pain system. Just a second. Especially on the right side. So here is the whole body having the good immunity cells. That's the reason we are healthy, no pain. If there is a weak immunity, definitely it causes one or other pains. But here is due to injury. So these are the area. This is the neuron. The neurons are many types. The normal neuron is different, but this something is a special neuron here. So this is the neuron having the cell body here. From the cell body you can find divided into two branches. So one branch is peripheral branch, the second branch called as a central axon. Right. So from here, if this affected due to injury, this releases certain substances by communicating this particular neuron. That's called as a first order neuron. So those, what are the chemicals will release if affected your body? Serotonin. Yes, especially PG, prostaglandins, right? And also there is a substance P. Both are majorly, sometimes is the majorly PG will releases here. So that receptors will take from the first order neuron, it goes to the central axon. From the central axon, what is this? Cross section of the spinal cord, right? So this area is called as the cross section of the spinal cord. So in the spinal cord, the second order neuron is existing, especially on the dorsal region of the spinal cord. From here, this first order neuron carries the pain impulses which is communicating to the second order neuron. It passes through the synapses. Right? There are the neurotransmitter taken place between the one neuron to other neuron, from one junction to other junction. Right? So from here, these neurons communicating to here. So this second order neuron carries that pain impulses that communicating and it going the other direction, crossing the central. This is the central sulcus. From here it crosses the commissioner, and then from here it communicating through this pathway called as a spinothalamic tract. So now the name itself is giving the information. Spine is the spinal cord. Thalamic means thalamus. Spinothalamic tract, which is communicating from the spinal cord to thalamus. Right? This carrying the impulses from the second order neuron. From here it moving towards the thalamus. Inside the thalamus, what is there? The third order neuron is existing here. From here it's a communicator. This carries the impulses from here. Then again that passing to the cerebral cortex of the brain. So when you look at this, the half hemisphere, even in the paralysis, including the pain conditions, so wherever there is a pain is there, that gives the signal to the opposite direction of the brain. Right. Therefore, when we do have the pain on the right shoulder, we can treat on the left area of the brain, and so vice versa. Right? In that way also can be possible. For example, scalp acupuncture we are going to teach you. So that particular time there is a pain is on the right shoulder. So I am put audible in the yes, right? So right shoulder you can focus on the left side. Otherwise you can use it on the both sides also, no problem, you can treat. But however, as per the physiological aspect of the brain, so that is controlling from the different part, other part of the brain area. From here it goes here. So this particular area, the whole area is called as this is the half hemisphere, this is the right hemisphere, this is the left hemisphere. So when we look at about this, the whole man is sleeping on this hemisphere. So this particularly this area is communicated on the post-central sulcus of the brain. That is the central part of the brain, right? So from here, so the pain signals, this whole area is called as a ascending pathways or the efferent pathways. afferent. Whenever you study the medical book, and they will mention as a afferent pathway. This pathway, there is another name called as a ascending pathway. What is ascending pathway? Taking the signals to the brain, right? A denotes here is the another name called as a sensory pathway. So this pathways is carrying to the cerebral cortex. Now this is the one pathway. From there it gives the signal to the periphery or the parts of the body how we are feeling the pain. Now let me see, this already has given the signals. But how we are going to work in the opposite direction, how we are going to get the pain and also to relief. Now you understand there is another neuron. Here is the first order neuron. His cell body is here is there. From here it descends the downward direction. Right? Descending pathways, it comes to this region. This called as a midbrain. From here there is a path, I told you, the periaqueductal gray matter we are going to release here, and from this neuron again descends the downward direction and communicating to the another area called as a medulla oblongata. These both are connected to the midbrain. So these both are connected to the brain stem. The pons is there, there is no communication in the pons, but through the pons it communicating. In between there is this particular area is called as a midbrain. This area called as a pons, but this area is called as a midbrain. From the midbrain, it descends the downwards direction and communicating to the second order neuron. It is communicating to the second order neuron, and it releases the certain chemical substances. Those called as a natural painkillers. Natural painkillers will release us here. These natural painkillers are called as opiates. Right? Those opiates are called as endorphins, majorly endorphins. So in that way, efferent means descending. Efferent means transmission, perception, and modulation. Modulation taken place here. Majorly modulation taken place here acts as an analgesic effect. So if we look at about this entire area, where called as a gate control mechanism to be taken place, especially this area, by using having the inhibitory action in that particular region to control the pain in the form of naturally.